So here we are ready for the face-off. As the official tees the ball up in the air, not quite high enough, but the officials let it go. And Exeter comes up with possession. Allison Kelly brings it into the Bedford end. Driving in, still with it, and the shot that goes wide, that was number 7, Ray Neal. Her stick was struck as she let that shot go. It caused it to go wide of the net, but they backed it up and retained possession.
Scary start there for Bedford, almost a score within the first 20 seconds.
That's Sydney Taylor behind X, pulling back, waiting to see if there's anybody she can get a feed pass to, anybody cutting toward the net. Now she wheels around. She's got Ray in front, goes the other way, tries a wrap around, cuts in front, takes a shot and scores. Sydney Taylor, solo goal there at the 24-16 mark, and the Exeter Bluehawks take the lead 1-0.
Yeah, nice individual move there by Taylor. She got right in front, and Paradise really had no chance from that distance.
It was interesting that the defense kind of left her alone. I guess they were drawn off by some of the other players. And that left Ray all alone to put the ball in the net. I'm sorry, Taylor, not Ray. So we're ready to begin here. It is, again, Allison Kelly on the face-off for Exeter. And we'll wait to see you get a number of the Bedford player in center. It is number 10 as well, Sydney Lynch. And the setup and the ball in the air goes up the appropriate height, still bouncing around. Bedford's got a shot at it, and they pick it up. Number 5, Julian Bell gets it. Feeds it ahead, too far for Lynch. She can't control it, and now Exeter takes over Elise Cannon, bringing it over the midfield line and into Bedford territory. Still with it. She's got McEachern on her. She goes all the way past the extended goal line, and now the Exeter Bluehawks set up the offense. Bray has it. Now behind the net to Maddie Davis. Up high to Taylor, now to Ray again. Ray moving against Bell. Now she peels back. Strohacker splits the defense, loses momentarily, but gets a whistle. And it looks like she'll get an 8-meter try here.
Cross-check there was the infraction.
So she's right at 12 o'clock to goaltender Paradise. Finds a crowd, but still manages to get the net. Puts it in. So the 8-meter is good at 23:04 of the first half.
Exeter by number 26, Lily Strohacker.
Well, this is just the start that Exeter was looking for, Harry. On the Bedford turf here, going up 2-0 in the first 2 minutes.
Possession so important in the girls' game, and Bedford lost their possession in their zone.
That proved to be a costly turnover.
And once again, the face-off between number 10s, Lynch and Kelly. And the ball hits an Exeter stick, still loose. Finally picked up by Exeter again. Kelly with it. She's double-teamed, changes direction, gets by the Bedford defenders, then loses the ball, but they're going to call a contact check there. Exeter will retain possession. Allison Kelly will start. Exeter's up 2-0 here. 22-27 remaining in the first half. Now Strohacker coming right down the middle, and that draws a flag. A delayed call here. A holding call?
Holding call.
So Strohacker has another opportunity here from 8 meters. Actually, yeah, at the 8-meter circle. Chance to add to their lead. Shot and a save by Paradise. It's loose, and Paradise still trying to come up with it. Still bouncing loose behind, and Exeter gets control once again. So possessions are all in the Exeter Blue Hawk favor here.
Huge save there by Paradise to keep it at 2-0, the deficit. Bedford just couldn't come up with that loose ball.
So Ray over to Lapia. Now that was number 8, Alexis Lapia coming up in front of the Bedford net, but she lost control as she ran into the Bedford defense, and now the Bulldogs cross midfield with possession. We'll see if they can convert something here. Julie Bell, she gets driven down. Do we get a whistle? No, we don't. Possession Exeter. I thought that contact would draw a flag, or a whistle at least.
Yeah, the referees deemed it a clean check. Another big turnover.
So Patton, the goalkeeper, she sends a pass up to number 17, Phoebe Tyler, but Tyler couldn't control it. Now Bedford will have the ball back with 20:45 to go here in the first half. Ava Gaudette, pass into Dermody. Bedford's going to take their time, slow down, set up their offense. No doubt this will involve McCarthy getting the ball to her. She's been the leading scorer, and she's set the record in Division I girls lacrosse for the state.
That's right. Last week she became the all-time leading scorer for girls Division I lacrosse in New Hampshire, and they certainly will look to her here in the first half. It's almost 5 minutes in here, and Bedford doesn't have a shot on goal yet.
McCarthy, pass sailed over her head, and it's another Bedford turnover. And Exeter comes away with it. Drops it back to Tess Hayes along the sideline. She runs into a wall and now gets the ball off to Ray. Ray over to Strohecker. Draws a whistle, and she'll get a restart. Now the pass over to Allison Kelly. Allison peels up, leaves it for Sydney Taylor. Now Exeter will reset their offense.
Bedford defense getting tested early here.
Ball comes loose there by Taylor. Bedford picks it up and they draw a whistle. So a restart for Zoe Michaud for Bedford. She'll try to get the ball out of the zone here. Michaud stopping and starting, trying to evade the Blue Hawk defender. Now she flips it over to number 3. That's Grace Ann Rooney. Dermody has it in Exeter territory. She gets around the Exeter defender going down the sideline, heading toward extended goal, or not quite. Now she leaves it for Chamberlain Bell, Sydney Lynch, Julie Bell, Hannah McCarthy, and McEachern.
Well, everybody got a touch there on the perimeter. We'll see if that settles the offense down a little bit.
Now, Bedford likes to start off with a little bit of perimeter play, looking for their opportunity to penetrate. Now Lynch runs into a defensive wall, pulls back. McEachern flips it over to McCarthy. McCarthy one-on-one against number 23, Elise Cannon. And a shot goes wide. Looks like Exeter's going to win that, because number 5, Tess Hayes, was closest to the end line where the ball went out. Now she loses the ball momentarily, and it goes out of bounds off of Chamberlain Bell. It'll be Exeter ball. Pass up to number 26, Strohecker. She draws a crowd and winds up losing the ball. Oh, there's a collision right there. Riley Chu takes a shoulder, but maintains possession, as the officials say that it was an illegal contact. Here's Chamberlain Bell heading behind the extended goal line, behind the net. Centering pass for McEachern, and she couldn't make connection. And the officials here are going to give possession back to Bedford here. It's going to be an 8-meter attempt, or rather sharp angle one by Dermody. Play starts, and the shot and goal. So Dermody off the 8-meter, puts it in, cuts the Exeter lead in half to 2-1. 16:52 of the first half. Highly unusual for it to take about 8 minutes into the game for Bedford to get on the board.
Yeah, we'll see if that's the turning point and the momentum shift that Bedford was looking for. Just hadn't really been able to click in the few offensive opportunities they'd had. And so that was a fortunate whistle with that 8-meter opportunity.
And now a change at faceoff. It's going to be Hannah McCarthy against Allison Kelly. McCarthy with a height advantage here. We'll see if that makes a difference on possession. The ball flips over toward the Bedford end. McEachern's right there and picks it up. So Bedford gets control. Dermody to McEachern. And Bedford's going to set up their perimeter game here. McCarthy to Bell to Lynch. Over to the other Bell, Chamberlain Bell. 2-1, Exeter up. 16:27 to go here in the first half. Here's a centering pass to McCarthy. Her shot and a beautiful save there by Patton. Caught it with the netting. Now she flips it out to number 18, Hannah Garrity. And then another pass and another pass up to Sydney Taylor as they go into Bedford territory. Here's Allison Kelly bringing it in. She loses it to Lynch on a stick check. Ball is loose, and McEachern picks it up for Bedford. Turnover Exeter. Long lead pass now to McCarthy. She might have a lane here to the goal. Just one player between her, turns around. She draws a crowd, but still has the ball. Fires a shot just wide, but Dermody backs up the shot. Bedford will retain possession. That was almost like a breakaway in hockey.
Yeah, it really was. And you can sort of feel the energy lifting across the field for the Bulldogs. And now they'll look to tie it up.
Now Chamberlain Bell behind X looking for an outlet. There's a pass to Lynch, and she scores. Great give and go there. So Chamberlain Bell with the assist. Lynch with the goal at 15:21. That ties it up for Bedford 2-2.
Yeah, nice cut by Lynch there. And Bell wasted no time in finding her.
So we've got a new game here, about 9.5 minutes in.
We saw that connection a lot in the regular season finale when Chamberlain Bell had, I believe, 3 goals and 6 assists.
That was a big game for her, 9 points total. And once again, Hannah McCarthy for Bedford on the face-off in the air. Momentarily, number 10, Kelly had it, but McEachern instead comes up with the loose ball and carries it into Blue Hawk territory. Dermody down, behind extended goal. Bedford sets up. Flips it over to Riley Chu right behind X. Under 15 minutes to play here in the first half. Chu tries to wheel around, gets away from a double team, still peeling back. She's got 2 defenders on her. Chamberlain Bell over to McCarthy. Nifty backhand that's saved by Patton. So 2 big saves by Patton on McCarthy.
Yeah, that was a nice play. The pick play from McEachern, and then McCarthy with that nifty shot as you described, but an even better save from Patton.
You know, McCarthy's got she's got a great arsenal of shots. She kind of has these stealth moves where it doesn't look like she's about to take a shot, but she just kind of backhands it. Really fools the goaltenders a lot of times, but Patton not fooled twice.
And it's easy to see why McCarthy is the all-time goal-scoring leader in New Hampshire.
So now the Blue Hawks in control in the Bedford end, all tied up 2 apiece with 14 minutes to play in the first half. They're working the perimeter. Up to Ray. And now to Emily Lapia. Kelly. And behind X. They're just working the perimeter now. Oh, a turnover right there. Number 15, Casey Moore, was trying to get it to Maddie Davis. Kind of let the shot sail over her head, so it's a turnover for Exeter. And Bedford takes over. There's a pass up the sideline to McCarthy. She wheels around, puts on the jets, gets by a lot of the Exeter defenders chasing her. Now pulls up, waits for her teammates to join the offensive rush, and they settle down, working the perimeter here as they set up their offense. Chamberlain Bell drifting to her usual spot behind goal. Now drifts back up. She's right along the goal line. She's got one defender on her, number 17, Phoebe Tyler. A pass over to McCarthy gets taken down, no whistle. Riley Chu loses the ball momentarily, and this is going to be a restart for Bedford. They're going to maintain control. So here's Riley Chu now, number 7. Play begins. She's got Bell with her. Chu wheels around in front, runs into a defender, and a 8-meter is going to be awarded here. Phoebe Tyler came into contact with Chu, which drew that 8-meter play. So Chu, a low shot, saved by Patton.
Off the pipe, it looked like, from this angle. Either way, a missed opportunity for Chu.
It's a low-scoring affair with just 12 minutes to play. Only 4 goals scored, 2 by each team. And Bedford takes over again. Here's Hannah McCarthy with a shot down low and scores. So McCarthy finally on the board, gives Bedford the lead, 3-2. And Dermody got the assist on that play.
Looks like we have a timeout here by Exeter.
By number 13, Hannah McCarthy. Assist to number 23, Courtney Dermody.
Coaches Courtney Pernetta and Mike Boyle for the Blue Hawks deciding to get a timeout here as their team has lost a 2-0 lead, giving up 3 straight to Bedford. Now find themselves behind by a goal.
Well, I can't stop thinking about the Boston Bruins start to the Stanley Cup Finals, falling behind 2-0 and then going on a run and never looking back. And that's, of course, what the Bulldogs are hoping this afternoon will turn into.
Well, a lot of lacrosse still yet to play, 11:52 in this half and then another 25 of regulation in the second half. But some sloppy play by the Blue Hawks caused some turnovers there. That call that led to the Hannah McCarthy goal, there was a foul behind the net that caused a turnover in possession.
Yeah, and Bedford did a great job taking advantage of that opportunity. When McCarthy cut to the middle, there was really nobody on her, and it happened so quickly that Exeter wasn't able to react.
Just a programming note, don't forget that we're going to be bringing you playoff baseball tomorrow. Andrew Hansen along with Lauren Fox. A 4 o'clock first pitch at SAU Field as the Bulldogs, who went on a pretty impressive run for the end of the season. The last time we did a game with them, they were in a bit of a throw of a poor start, below 500. But they turned on the Jets in the second half of the season and got themselves a pretty good seed. Now they host the Winnicott Warriors at SAU Field tomorrow.
That's right. They got a chance to heat up, so we'll have that game tomorrow. That'll be on the radio.
Correct. That is a radio-only game, so make sure you tune in to WBNH 105.1. We'll bring you the action there. And assuming the Bulldogs here advance to the semifinals, we will have that game radio-only as well. Girls lacrosse against the winner of the other bracket that's going on right now. We're hoping to get a score for you. Number 3 seed Bishop Girton versus number 6 Merrimack. They're playing at Stello Stadium right now. They had a 4:30 start. We're going to be keeping an eye on Twitter to see if we get a score from there. But assuming the top seeds win both those games, it'll be Bedford versus BG at 5 o'clock on Saturday at Ball Stadium in Exeter. And we're going to have that for you radio only. Probably a TV delay. We'll have the TV cameras there. We won't be able to bring it to you live, but we'll bring it to you on a delay. And we'll have that call of the game for you then as well. So we're ready to start here. McCarthy once again in the face-off circle against Kelly. And the whistle and the ball drifts back and goes right to number 7, Ray. For Exeter, she brings it right in. Fast attack here by the Blue Hawks, but they let the ball hit the ground. It's loose. They pick it up once again. Sydney Taylor, trying to get away from a pair of Bulldog defenders, flips it over to Kelly. Now to Moore. And here's Ray along the goal line, takes a shot and scores.
Another nice individual move from Exeter. And of course, that came right off that timeout. So the Exeter crew got organized and executed well there to tie it up.
And you can see the Bulldogs are talking about that last goal. So Ray Neal with the goal at 11:20 ties it up at 3. That was set up by a very clean win off the faceoff, and Ray just brought it right into the zone. Didn't waste any time. Got the attack going right away on Bedford, kind of caught them on their heels, and I'm sure that's what they were talking about after that goal. They had a little huddle in front of Hannah Paradise after that goal. So another face-off here. Each one of the face-offs has drifted toward the Exeter end. This one's more or less straight up. There's an attempt to pick it up. Still loose. And now finally picked up by Exeter. They lose it. And we're going to get a call here. Kelly's going to get a restart, saying that her stick was checked while it was empty. Now Ray Neal, who scored the last goal, gets away from Chamberlain Bell. Gets the ball up to her teammate, Phoebe Tyler. And Tyler brings it behind X. There's Maddie Davis. Over to Tyler. Or to Casey Moore, I should say. Now here's Davis again. Runs into a player, and we're going to get a call here. She ran into Grace Ann Rooney, and that's going to cost Bedford a 8-meter attempt here. So Maddie Davis with a shot here to give Exeter the lead once again, one-on-one against Paradise. Shot and a save by Paradise. I think she got the stick on it and redirected it by the net. So Exeter picks up the rebound, but they have to reset here on a save by Paradise. Allison Kelly, one-on-one, decides to pull back. Still with the ball. Exeter slowing things down just a bit here. She decides to peel away. Now she double team, turns around once again, fires a shot and save. Oh, gets away from Paradise momentarily, but she got the stick on it before it crosses the line.
Paradise, the senior goalie for Bedford, coming up big there.
So we're still at 3-3, 9:31 to go here. Paradise still with the ball, waiting for Zoe Michaud to come back. Oh, and it turns over right to Maddie Davis. Centering pass. Failed to connect. What do we have here? Is this a goal? What are they going to call this?
Looks like they gave the signal for a good goal just before the net was shaken away.
Extra goal by number 1, Maddie Davis.
So Maddie Davis gets a goal here on a turnover. Paradise tried to get the ball to Zoe Michaud. Paradise stepped right in front of it and came along the goal line. A sharp angle shot beat Paradise. And Exeter's back on top now, 4-3. Yeah, and Paradise swings her stick against the net in frustration over that play, knowing that she made a pass that she shouldn't have made. But I think Michaud should have come a little closer to her. You know, she let Davis get in front of her. So, you know, you could parse blame on either player. But, you know, it looked from my angle like the net moved as the ball went in. So I'm a little surprised that that was allowed as a goal.
It was certainly a bang-bang play.
Now Bedford with possession here and a chance to tie it up. Chamberlain Bell drifts back behind extended goal. Waiting for a cutter. And she's got Hannah McCarthy, who fires a shot high and scores. So Belton to McCarthy gives Bedford the lead again at 5-4 with 8:51 to play in the first.
Yeah, quick response there from Bedford.
Assistant number 17,
Just 26 seconds after Exeter took the lead, Hannah McCarthy picks up her second goal of the day.
Correction, it's 4-4. So that tied it up.
Correction, Bedford goal.
So 8:51 to go here in the first. Another face-off between Kelly and McCarthy here. And McEachern is a lot closer to the play along with Sydney Taylor. Now the ball off the face-off is picked up by Lynch. Bedford in control, leaves it there for Riley Chu and now to McCarthy. Long pass across to Chamberlain Bell. We'll see if she heads behind the goal line. She flips it over to Dermody. Now takes it back. Bell pulls back. Dermody fakes a shot. Gets it inside to Lynch, who scores. Now Bedford's in the lead 5-4.
Well, you could see that play developing. Lynch with a backdoor cut of sorts. She went behind her defender, and she freed up right in front for the easy conversion.
So Bedford back on top now, 5-4.
Assistant number 23.
Pretty tightly played game, like you said in the pregame. Exeter has been a team, despite their record of losses, has been staying close with a lot of the premier teams, all the elite teams in Division I. So they're tough out, and they're showing that today. McCarthy versus Kelly in the face-off circle. And the ball again flips toward the Exeter goal, and Sydney Lynch picks it up, and she gets knocked down here. The official allow that. I'm really surprised by that because I could see that that Lynch was shoved down by the Exeter player, but the officials are letting play continue.
Yeah, it looked like a check right in her back, sending her to the ground and creating the turnover.
So Ray Neal has it now. Now behind the net to Moore. Moore up to Lapia. Kelly to Taylor to Neal. Exeter just kind of working around, throwing the ball around the horn here. Maddie Davis comes up in front of the goal line. Kelly fakes a shot. Taylor now being defended by McEachern. She peels away. Ray Neal now pulls back and Exeter resets. Kelly into a crowd, decides to pull out of it. 5-4 Bedford, 7:06 to go here in the first half. Ball behind X to Taylor. She comes up in front of the net, sends it over to Ray Neal. Good defense so far from Bedford, but maybe a little too good there. She, I believe it was Lynch who fouled Ray Neal, giving up an 8-meter here attempt. So Ray Neal's got an attempt here. Takes a shot and beats Paradise High, ties the game up at 5.
Yeah, Ray Neal was able to get in close there and go offside high. Paradise had no chance from that range.
Number 7, Ray Neal, unassisted.
Yeah, as Bill Jennings pointed out, that whole series kind of started with a questionable foul there on Lynch that didn't get called. Well, one could assume that the officials let a little more go in the playoffs. They don't want to let a call affect play. They just kind of let the game be decided on the field.
Yeah, you can certainly appreciate that, although that non-call certainly affected play on the field.
So once again here on the face-off between number 10, Allison Kelly, and number 13, McCarthy, the ball has been going the Exeter way the whole time, and momentarily Bedford had control of it. They have it again. McEachern finally comes up with that hot potato, and Bedford settles down. Chamberlain Bell slowing things down. Now McCarthy to McEachern. Lynch to Dermody, and now to Chu. Dermody once again. Bedford moving the ball along the outside perimeter, setting up their offense. McEachern slowly approaching the defensive wall. Tests them, pulls back. Lynch moves down to extended goal line, now pulls up. Chamberlain Bell. Feet inside to McCarthy. She gets hit. No call, but the loose ball is picked up by Chamberlain Bell. Chamberlain Bell driving into a crowd, loses the ball. Turnover, and now another turnover that goes out of bounds off of McCarthy. It's going to be they're going to call this a Bedford possession here. I thought it went off of McCarthy's stick. Now the restart. She gets checked, loses it. Lynch for Exeter gets it up. That's number 20. And number 26, that's Strohacker loses the ball. Now Bedford takes over. Zoe Michaud brings it back the other way.
Nice play by Lynch there. A little tap check. Just gently knocked the ball loose for Bedford.
So Dermody now getting it to her teammates, and they're working up the high perimeter. Slowing things down. 4:33 to go, all tied up at 5 here in the first half. Chamberlain Bell drifting behind goal. Standing right on the goal line with a feed to McCarthy, and they score. That combination works again. Bell to McCarthy. That's her second goal. At 4:21, Bedford back up 6-5.
Well, you can start to see the frustration from the Bedford players with the physical play of the Blue Hawks. So we'll have to keep a close eye on this, how it plays out in terms of how the game is officiated and how each team reacts to how the officiating is going.
And you can see that the officials are letting a lot of physical play go. And, you know, your friend Corey Munstertiger, who was our color commentator in past games, indicated, he talks about the bubble around each player's head, that you're not allowed to put a stick anywhere near that halo around the player's head. And yet we've seen that several times and go without a whistle. So I think that all the Bedford players need to be aware of that, especially McCarthy, who's playing the inside and is going to draw a lot of that kind of physical play.
You're right, and that happened on that last possession to McCarthy before the restart and the goal.
So on face-off, the ball goes out of bounds. We'll see if that is a turnover or if they call a foul. Yep, they're going to give the ball back to Bedford here. Lynch has it. An illegal check. She's working down the sideline. Tries to get by Phoebe Tyler, goes behind X, wheels around and gets the ball to Dermody. Dermody to Chamberlain Bell. Bell up high to McEachern, now to McCarthy. Julian Bell back to McCarthy. 6-5, Bedford up. 3:38 to go here in the first half. Quarterfinal Division I tournament. 2 versus 7 seed. There's a feed and a shot by McEachern. That's a save by Patton, and now Exeter picks up the loose ball and they take over. They set things back up. Allison Kelly up to Ray Neal, drops it right back down to number 5, Tess Hayes, and back to goalkeeper A.J. Patton. Under 3 minutes now. Up the sideline, loses the ball out of bounds. That was, I believe, number 10. But they're going to give the ball right back to Exeter on that play, saying she was checked illegally. Oh, she had her stick hit as she was trying to send the pass out, loses it. But once again, they award possession back to Hannah Garrity, number 18. Now Allison Kelly being watched very closely by McCarthy. She loses it momentarily, picks it right back up. McCarthy chases her back down, but instead she gets it up to number 11. That's Sydney Taylor. Sydney Taylor down the sideline toward extended goal. Now she pulls up, being watched by Zoe Michaud. Ray Neal to Taylor, or actually number 12, that's Emily Lapia. Maddie Davis behind X, up to Sydney Taylor. Sydney Taylor drifting, being watched by Michaud, moves across the fan and then flips it over to Emily Lapia. Now Lapia one-on-one against Julian Bell, a high pass. It looked more like a pass than a shot, but just in case, the keeper, Paradise, backs it up just to be sure that possession is maintained. Now kind of a risky pass right there. Ball is loose on the ground, still loose. Everybody scooping at it, and Exeter finally comes away with it. Another kind of a sloppy pass there from Paradise, a little risky play. Now Maddie Davis behind the extended goal. Paradise caught out of the goal there, tried to play a little bit of defense outside her crease, had a hustle to get back in. Exeter doesn't take advantage of it. They decide to pull back and reset their offense.
Just over a minute to play now in the first half. Exeter looking to tie this up at 6.
Sydney Taylor to Davis. Over to Casey Moore. Moore, watched by Ava Gaudette. Now Emily Lapia. Sydney Taylor. She gets it back. Taylor leaves it for Ray Neal. Pass up high to Maddie Davis. Defense stops her there. Lapia loses the ball. It's picked up by Taylor. Trying to get in front, but good defense there by Bedford, not giving her any room. Taylor leaves it for Davis.
15 seconds left now.
Feed inside and a shot and save, and it's going to be Bedford ball. So excellent defensive play there by the Bulldogs. They've got about 10 seconds here to do something with it. We'll see what they can do here. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, a long pass, and that's going to do it. The whistle will sound. And they'll finish the half with a hard-fought 6-5 lead.
Yeah, after that 2-0 start from Exeter, I think Bedford really picked it up, outscoring Exeter 6-3 the rest of the half. But then that last 3 minutes, Exeter did a good job keeping possession down on their offensive end, so they go into the halftime only down by 1.
Let's have a quick scoring recap before we take a break for at halftime.
First goal of the game went to Taylor of Exeter at the 24-minute mark, and then Strohecker made it 2-0 at the 23-minute mark. Bedford got on the board when Dermody scored. 16 minutes left to make it 2-1. Just over a minute later, Lynch got her first goal to tie it at 2. Hannah McCarthy then scored her first goal to make it 3-2. Ray Neal tied it up for Exeter. And then they went ahead 4-3 with 9:17 left in the half. Hannah McCarthy tied it up with 8:51 left. Sydney Lynch got her second goal less than a minute later to make it 5-4 Bedford. Ray Neal tied it for Exeter at 5. And then the last goal was Hannah McCarthy making it 6-5 with 4:21 left in the half.
So as you can see, a very tightly fought game. The biggest lead of the game, the opening 2-0 lead by Exeter. Since then, it's all been 1-goal leads and ties. So that's where we lead things right now. We've got about 6 minutes to go before the start of the second half. We'll take a little break here, and we'll come right back for second half action. 6-5 Bedford ahead of Exeter. You're watching Division I quarterfinal girls lacrosse on BCTV 23. So the start with Allison Kelly being watched by Hannah McCarthy. She heads down the sideline, gets by McCarthy, draws a foul. She'll get a restart. Kelly to Strohecker. Ray Neal. Emily Lapia. That's Sydney Taylor. And Casey Moore. Goes around the goal, Drops it back, a little wheel around play. Sydney Taylor fighting a double team, decides to pull back a little bit. Bedford not giving any room for the Exeter Bluehawks to penetrate their D. Sydney Taylor with it again. Up high, now trying to penetrate. Runs into Gaudette. Peels back. Strohecker with it now. 6-5, Bedford's up. 23-44 here left in regulation, second half. Now Strohecker's going to try to penetrate. Instead, gets around Lynch and now runs into a crowd and takes a stick to the head. And Strohecker's going to get the 8-meter here. Strohecker one-on-one against Paradise. Gets in tight, takes a shot, shoots it wide, but number 10, Allison Kelly, backs it up for Exeter. They're going to maintain possession.
Well, one missed opportunity so far for Exeter, and Bedford really tough defensive challenge here, almost 2 minutes into the second half.
It almost seems that a player can draw an 8-meter play just by kind of going into a scrum, because somebody's going to wind up hitting you someplace they're not supposed to. So if you're willing to sacrifice your body, you could get a couple of scoring chances. Now Sydney Taylor with it. Down low to Emily Lapia, behind the net to Casey Moore. Casey Moore wheels around, gets it up high to Ray Neal. Ray Neal, one-on-one against McEachern. Over to Strohecker. Flips it over to Neal. Almost 3 minutes of possession time here for the Bluehawks. They're trailing 6-5. We're coming up on the 22-minute mark here in the second half. And now Kelly's shot hits the goalpost. Actually, it was Ray Neal who took a pass from Allison Kelly. Winds up hitting the goalpost, and Bedford picks up the rebound right there and goes back the other way.
Yeah, it looks like Paradise got a little piece of it, and then it hit the pipe. So game of inches here.
So now the Bulldogs on the attack after giving up about 3 minutes of possession time to the Bluehawks. Riley Chu wheels behind goal. Leaves it there for Dermody. Dermody draws a defender. Now Chu has it again. Tries to flip it over. And now a feed pass to Sydney Lynch. And Lynch beats Patton for a goal. And Bedford is up 7-5 here with 21:17 to play.
Well, nice cut there by Lynch. There was a group of several Bulldogs there at the top of the fan, and she just emerged, slithered in there, and the quick stick gives her a hat trick, and the Bulldogs a 2-goal lead.
That's their biggest of the game. So we have another face-off here. We've got a new face-off person for Bedford. It's going to be Chamberlain Bell facing off against Allison Kelly, who's taken all the face-offs for Exeter so far.
Big draw here. See if Bedford can get possession and try and open this lead up to 3. It would be the first time all afternoon either team is led by 3.
The ball flips toward the Exeter net, but instead Ray Neal picks up the loose ball. And the Bluehawks have possession. Now here's the pass to Kelly. Kelly against Zoe Michaud, gets by her. Now pulls back. A feed inside and a shot and a goal. Number 15, Casey Moore. So Allison to Moore for that goal. So the Bluehawks respond quickly and cut the lead down to 1. 7-6 now, Bedford in the lead. That goal coming with 21:01 to play.
Yeah, that really was a quick strike. Only 16 seconds after Lynch's goal. And of course, the draw is of paramount importance in girls lacrosse, and Exeter showing that again right there.
Now we wait for the face-off. Going to take a moment here to check the old Twitter feed, see if we can get you a score from Stello Stadium. We do have one score from the Pinkerton game. The Astros lead Londonderry 13-3. Exeter wins the face-off. And here's Sydney Taylor with it. Strohacker to Ray Neal. Now behind X. Lapia up to Taylor. Taylor being watched, leaves it there for Strohacker. Strohacker has a wall of Bulldogs in front of her. She decides to pull back. Ray Neal to Taylor, now back low behind the goal. Taylor coming around, hits the goal post. Looks like she might be a little dazed right there. Let's see what the officials say. Was there contact made?
Is he saying there's a crease violation?
Yes. So Sydney Taylor entered the crease on that play. And that's a turnover. Bedford ball. Here's McEachern now carrying it over the mid-stripe. Everybody moving at top speed for the goal. McEachern might try to take it all the way in. Does. Takes a shot and scores. McEachern end to end. Puts Bedford up 8-6.
What a rush from McEachern.
Unassisted.
She really uses her speed as a weapon. We see that on the soccer field as well. And that was the first time where she was able to get in the open field, and she really used it to her advantage there and created that opportunity all by herself.
Yeah, you know, when you're moving at top speed like that and you've got defenders backpedaling, you can use that against them by shifting your position around and making the defender kind of put themselves out of position. They take a step one way thinking you're going to go left, and instead you go right. And that opened the lane right to the goalkeeper. 8-6, Bedford up now, 19:30 to play. And here's the face-off. Lynch is back in the face-off circle. Allison Kelly for Exeter still there. On the ground, Bedford had a chance at it, but Ray Neal, picks it up for Exeter and brings it into the Bedford end. Loses it on a check, and it's picked up by Ava Gaudette. Bedford comes back the other way. Ava Gaudette over the mid-stripe. Now peels back and leaves it for Riley Chu. The Bulldogs set up their offense. Here's McEachern. Now over to Julian Bell. Bedford slowing things down. Lynch moves in on Kelly. Now there's a drop pass. I believe Bell took the shot. It goes out and Bedford backs up the play. They maintain possession. Dermody with it now. Dermody gets in front of extended goal, leaves it there for Chamberlain Bell. She wheels around the top of the fan. Still moving, takes a shot and scores. Chamberlain Bell gets it on the ground, beats Patton. And Bedford builds a 3-goal lead, 9-6, with 18:13 to play.
Number 17, Chamberlain Bell, unassisted.
Nice change of plane there from Bell, going from high to low.
She was one-on-one against Tess Hayes for Exeter and just kind of worked it until she had a lane to fire a shot off, and got it down low, used the ground to her advantage. Now Sydney Lynch against Allison Kelly here on the face-off. Allison Kelly's taken all the face-offs here for Exeter. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs have had 3 different players in the face-off circle. There's a face-off. Didn't go very high, but the officials let the play go on. No, now what do they say? They're going to give the possession over to Exeter, saying McEachern made contact. And now the ball's turned over right away. No, once again they call a contact foul. Strohecker. Riley Chu ran into her. So Strohecker's going to head down the sideline. Loses the ball. Now another contact foul by the official. You know, considering the kind of plays they were letting go earlier in the game, those are kind of ticky-tack contacts that they're blowing the whistle on.
Yeah, it looked to me like both of those, the Bulldogs just got their stick up in that bubble area by the Blue Hawk player's head.
So Maddie Davis goes behind goal. And Moore falls down. Able to get back up. Maddie Davis. She gets it up now to Erin McElroy. I haven't called her number all day. Back down low to Moore. Moore wheels around. Up to Strohecker. Strohecker just taking her time here, looking for an opportunity. Drifting in. McEachern, actually Lynch pushes her back. Flips it over to Kelly. To Davis. Down low to McElroy. McElroy behind X. Now tries to find a lane to get in front. Being watched by Julian Bell. Now she drifts back. Gives herself some more room. Strohecker. Against Lynch. Lynch pushes back. Pushes Strohecker further away. Strohecker and Lynch still dueling right there. Lynch not giving her any room. Now Strohecker gets over to McElroy. Now to Davis. Behind X to Moore. Moore picks up the loose ball. Loses it again. Gets it back. Moore's got Zoe Michaud all over her. Now Strohecker gets the pass. Tries to find a crease. And driven back. Now, do you call that a charge or a block?
I think that went with the block, so to speak, but that was what I was thinking, that Bedford had possession there, and it could have been a call of a charge.
Yeah, they had possession on that play, but instead the officials are going to give Strohecker another 8-meter try here. She takes a shot and scores. Strohecker at 15-19 makes it 9-7 Bedford.
Strohecker's second goal on the day.
So we're all kind of trying to get a handle on the officiating. They're kind of letting some things go and calling some things very tight.
Got to be consistent.
But you know, the officiating is what it is, and it will be a 2-goal lead now for Bedford with 15-19 to go. So the face-off now, Lynch versus Kelly in the circle, waiting for the official to tee the ball up. The official teeing it up, and we're ready to begin. Ball up in the air, straight up. Goes off a Bedford stick, and now it's picked up by McEachern, and she's driving in. Pulls up, gets it to Hannah McCarthy, who finds Lynch streaking and feeds it to her and is able to put the ball in the net. And Bedford gets the goal right back, 10-7. So it'll be Lynch on the goal with Hannah McCarthy on the assist.
That's Lynch's fourth goal today. Gives Bedford that 3-goal cushion again.
So quick transition play there by Bedford gets them the goal right back.
I think that's at least the third time that McEachern has picked up the loose ball after the draw. She really seems to have a nose for the ball. And
it's like she has a vacuum cleaner on the end of that stick.
Yeah, she uses her speed in that setting as well. And that was the difference there, to get possession, and then Bedford scores just 12 seconds after Exeter had scored.
So the pace of scoring has picked up a bit since the start of the game. 10 versus 10 in the face-off circle. Ball flips up toward the Bedford net, and it's easily picked up there by Julian Bell. Bedford possession. She has to be careful, though. Now Chamberlain Bell with it, down the sideline in the Exeter end. Pulls up, being watched there by number 4, McElroy. Heads down the sideline and behind goal line. Flips it out, and a score there by Hannah McCarthy. So once again, the combination of Bell and McCarthy results in a goal, and Bedford builds on the lead. They're up to a 4-goal lead, 14:44 to play in regulation.
Bedford goal by number 13, Hannah McCarthy.
And that is McCarthy's third goal?
Her fourth, actually.
Fourth.
So McCarthy and Lynch both have 4 to pace the scoring attack for the Bulldogs.
And she's adding to that state record. And I wanted to say earlier, too, that the old record was held by another Bedford player, Drew Shapiro. And now we're going to have a timeout. I think it's Exeter calling the timeout this time.
If you're just joining us, as we mentioned, both Lynch and McCarthy have 4 goals for Bedford. Dermody has 1. McEachern has 1. And Chamberlain Bell has the other.
And that's where we stand right now. Don't forget to tune in to Bedford 105.1 tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And first pitch of the first round of the Division I baseball playoffs, the Bedford Bulldogs hosting the Winnicott Warriors at SAU Field. It'll be Lauren Fox and Andrew Hansen bringing you the call. And if you're coming to the game, can't stress this enough, bring along a radio, and you'll be able to enjoy the game with the enhancement of the call from Fox and Hansen.
Absolutely, yeah, we'd like to think so.
I don't know why.
Give it a try.
I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, people always bring the radios to the ballpark. At least some do.
That's right.
Or streaming.
You can't bring the radio because of the delay. The streaming does have a bit of about a 20 or 30 second delay, so you got to bring an old-fashioned analog radio with you to the ballpark. So that's going to be a 4 o'clock first pitch.
Well, you often park your car near home plate. Maybe we can just turn on your radio
We
so
could
people
do that.
can hear.
Serenade people, yeah, but then you're going to get the feedback. But you're right. We could just kind of set up a speaker. Well, actually, they probably wouldn't like that, because the players are going to start listening to you guys and
Right.
hearing what you say. Then they're like, "Hey, why did they say that about me? That wasn't a bad play." And if Bedford is able to hold on to this lead and advance to the semifinal round, they'll be facing the winner of either Merrimack and Bishop Girton, the 3 and 6 seeds playing right now. That's going to be a game at Bilbao Stadium in Exeter on Saturday, and Corey Munstertiger is going to be back doing that game with me. It'll be radio only. Bedford 105.1 will have the action 5 o'clock Saturday, so we hope you tune in on that. We'll have video on it, but not live video. It'll be a delayed video. So the timeout is done. We just had an update, 11:15 to go in the second half. Pinkerton up 19-4 in their opening round game. That's a 1 versus 8 game. Still nothing. Just looking at the Twitter feed here, and we're not finding anything about the BG game, so we'll have to look at that a little bit later. But we're all set to start. Bedford up by 4, 14:44 to go here in regulation play. Lynch versus Kelly in the face-off circle. In the air, Lynch reaches for it, but instead the ball bounces toward the goal. It's bouncing loose still. It goes out of bounds. We'll see who they say it went off of. They're going to award the ball to Bedford. They're going to say the ball went off the stick of Sydney Taylor. So Julian Bell up to Lynch. She's got some defenders crowding her, but she gets over the mid-stripe. Now pulls up. Gets it over to Julian Bell, to Sister Chamberlain. Chamberlain down the sideline. Past extended goal. She's got number 26 Strohacker trying to defend her. Now Hannah McCarthy up high, tries to get by a number of Exeter players, thinks the best of it, pulls back. Feed and a score. Oh, a ball hit the goalpost. That was Riley Chu's shot. Went off the crossbar, I think. Close call there for Exeter. Play is called. Bedford's going to retain possession here. Chamberlain Bell behind extended goal. Restart. Now she's behind X. Bell looking for cutter. Instead gets it up high to McCarthy. McCarthy being guarded. Takes a shot and scores. And it took a blow just as she let the ball go. Hits the ground, but her teammates come over to congratulate her. Phoebe Tyler was the one defending her.
Number 13, Hannah McCarthy.
But McCarthy was able to get by her and get the shot away.
Real nice shot from McCarthy. I think that was the shot from the longest distance so far today that's been converted.
It was outside the fan by a few feet.
And she placed it right in that bottom left corner, the offside corner of Patton.
So now the lead up to 5, 12-7, 13-11 to go in regulation. The hole getting a bit deeper here for the Exeter Bluehawks. Now we finally have a change in face-off for the Bluehawks. It's going to be Ray Neal, number 7 in the circle with Sydney Lynch of Bedford.
Can't blame the Bluehawks for making a change here. They're in dire need of possession, down 5.
Ball flips toward the Bedford goal, and it's picked up by Julian Bell. She gets away from a bunch of defenders, now up to Sydney Lynch. Oh, here's McEachern. She's got a shot, and it hits the post again, too. So a fast break there by Bedford. A couple of scoring opportunities. They're finding metal both times. Now the loose ball is picked up by Dermody, and she goes behind the net, and Bedford resets their offense. Dermody taking her time here, trying to find a cutter. She's teed up against Allison Kelly. A feed inside, and a goal there by number 10, Sydney Lynch. That was a goal, wasn't it?
It went in the net, but it looks like there was an infraction beforehand on Lynch.
So they're waving the goal off. No, but they're giving possession to Bedford, I think. Or no, it's Exeter with possession. The goalkeeper, Patton.
She may have gotten her foot in the crease there.
That could be. So Tess Hayes being watched very closely there by Hannah McCarthy. Gets it back to Patton. Now up to Phoebe Tyler. And there's a block by Bedford, but Exeter's able to recover and get the ball right back. Allison Kelly, all alone, moving in closer. Runs into number 20, Ava Gaudette, loses the ball momentarily, picks it up. Now Maddie Davis behind X, behind the Bedford net. There's a shot by Kelly. It's blocked, and they're going to give her a penalty, an 8-meter try here. So this is Sydney Taylor with a try, I believe. No, it's going to be, it's going to be Allison Kelly.
Clock stopped here at 11:01 left in the second half.
So Allison Kelly here with an 8-meter try, trying to draw the Exeter Bluehawks a little closer. Shot goes behind, it goes a little outside the post, a wide shot. Exeter's able to back it up, so they maintain possession. Maddie Davis over to Moore. Drifting along, Zoe Michel's watching her. There's Taylor. To Neal, number 7. Number 12 is Emily Lapia. 10:28 to go here. Bedford up by 5, 12-7. And a turnover. Ball's on the ground. Still loose. Gaudette tries to come up with the ball. And does. Ava Gaudette fighting for possession and gets it for Bedford. And brings it into the Exeter end. And the crowd gives her a cheer.
She earned it. Great individual defensive play there.
So now McEachern with it. Driving. Running into a wall of Blue Hawks. Now flips it over to Chamberlain Bell along the sideline. Chamberlain now drifting behind extended goal. Bell looking for a cutter. She had Lynch there momentarily, decided not to make the play. Gets a blow from Kelly, and they're going to call that on Kelly. So possession restart behind X for Chamberlain Bell. Chamberlain Bell drifts in to McEachern. McEachern scores.
Well, she made sure to get that one inside the post, Terry. And that's McEachern's second goal here of the second half.
And Chamberlain Bell picks up another assist.
Assist to number 17, Chamberlain Bell.
And that has to be at least the third assist for Bell, I'm guessing.
That's at least 4 by my count. Yep.
So the lead is now up to 6, 13-7, 9:18 to go here in regulation, second half play. Face off. Lynch against Ray, or Neal, I should say. Ray Neal. Ball straight up in the air. Lynch had a crack at it, but Neal's the one who comes up with it. It's Exeter ball into the Bedford end. A pass to Moore, over to number 11, Taylor. And she couldn't pick up the pass and turns the ball over now to Bedford. Sydney Lynch crossing into Exeter territory. Up to Riley Chu. Riley Chu evades the defender. Leaves it there for Julian Bell. Over to Sister Chamberlain Bell. Down the sideline. Bell, the assist machine from behind the goal. She wraps around, takes a shot and scores this time. Does it by herself. And that doubles up the Exeter Blue Hawks 14-7 with 8:31 to play.
Yeah, Bell said, why not? Maybe I should join the fun here.
You know, sprinkling a few goals along with all those assists. How many straight goals have Bedford scored since the last Exeter goal?
Exeter made it 9-7, so they've reeled off 5 in a row here.
So the situation getting a little more dire here for Exeter. You know, if the game runs and 7 goals can be scored in 8:31, but they're going to have to start winning possessions here, not turning the ball over and getting some balls on net for Hannah Paradise to stop if they have a chance to get back into this game. Face off in the air, and it's won by Ray Neal. Gets it up to Strohecker. Exeter with a chance here, driving right in. Strohecker's shot is high, but it's backed up by Maddie Davis. They'll maintain possession. Davis over to Lapia. Kelly. Pass over to Moore. Moore drifting along the extended goal line. Flips it over to Maddie Davis. Maddie Davis gets it to Alexis Lapia, number 8. Now up high to Strohacker. Strohacker being pushed off by Zoe Michaud. Now Strohacker tries again. Flips it over to Kelly. Kelly in front of the net, and they score, so that breaks the Bedford string of goals. It's now 14-8. Allison Kelly at 7:24.
That was one of the more impressive individual moves from Exeter on offense. It seems to me that the difference has been Bedford's offense. They've had a little bit more creativity with their movement, the way that their players have cut without the ball. That's what's created so many strong scoring chances for Bedford. We just haven't seen as much of that from Exeter, but that was a great play from Kelly.
So Exeter's Allison Kelly, who just scored, is back in the face-off circle, and this time she's going to face off against a new opponent, Julian Bell for Bedford. 7:24 to play, 14-6. I'm sorry, 14-8 is the score. Now Exeter picks up the loose ball. Number 10, Kelly, she gets her own face-off. Exeter with another win on the face-off here. Strohacker, in a bit of turbulence, gets pushed back by McEachern. Now Kelly to Maddie Davis, to Moore. Pushed off there by number 14, Natalie Rago. They bring it back up high against McEachern. That's Strohacker. And we get a whistle here, and it looks like an 8-meter call. Actually, it'll be not technically an 8-meter, but a restart. We'll see if she'll take the shot here. She might decide to pass it off. And she does. She gets defended, loses the ball. Still in the air, now on the ground, bouncing around. Now Ray Neal gets it back for the Blue Hawks. Kelly has it. 6:13 to play in regulation. Kelly, one-on-one against Michaud, now drops it behind the net to Maddie Davis. Davis up against Ava Gaudet. Now they bring it back up top. Strohacker against McEachern. Pulls back. Flips it over to Lapia. Back to Strohacker. Strohacker up against Lynch now. Gets by Lynch. Has a lane. Fires a shot and scores. Another goal. 2 in a row. Strohacker unassisted at 5:36 to go. Now the lead is down to 5, 14-9, Bedford.
26, Lily Strohacker.
That gives Strohacker a hat trick. And Bedford has called timeout now.
So Christine Hodgson wants to talk things over with her troops. Try to get them to settle down after giving up 2 straight to the Blue Hawks.
You got to figure she's also just giving her defenders a little bit of a rest here. Exeter picking up the time of possession here in the last few minutes, which allowed the Blue Hawks to score those 2 to get back into this game.
We do have a final from Pinkerton. It is 19-6. The Astros advance against the winner of Sauhegan, number 4 seed, in Nashua South, the 5 seed. Still no word on Bishop Girton and Merrimack. We'll try to see if we can find a feed here somewhere.
But if I'm Coach Hodgson, I'm telling the Bulldogs to really keep doing what they're doing defensively. They've done a great job of making things difficult for the Blue Hawks, making them make those impressive individual one-on-one moves to get good scoring opportunities.
Actually, we just got our first score from the BG game. With 10 minutes left in their game, BG is up 18-5 against Merrimack. So it looks like they're going to be advancing to Exeter on Saturday. And if the Bulldogs can hang on here, maintain this 5-goal lead, they will meet their arch rivals on Saturday at 5 o'clock. That'll be a game that we will bring to you on radio only and delay video on Bedford 105.1. And that'll be 5 o'clock on Saturday. Now they break off the face-off And we'll break off a timeout, I should say, and the face-off will be in the center circle here. 5:36 to go. Lynch is the original two number 10s, Lynch and Kelly on the face-off. This possession could be pivotal. You don't want to give Sauhegan the chance to draw closer. The ball's teed up in the air, and looks like McEachern comes up with it for Bedford, and she does. McEachern with Neal guarding her, tries to get away from her persistent checks. Now McEachern finds a lane, pulls up and decides to slow things down here, take some time off, but the officials blow their whistle. We'll see if there's a foul called. It looks like it'll be a restart for Bedford. And it is. Now here's Hannah McCarthy, or Chamberlain Bell, I should say. Her center feed is intercepted by Kelly, and Exeter comes the other way. 4:55 to play here. 14-9, Bulldogs ahead. And now a whistle. We'll see if we have a restart here for the Blue Hawks. It is. Into the Bedford end, Maddie Davis. Pass across, misses number 11. But it's recovered there. Oh, let's see what the call is here. Is it going to be off of Bedford? It is. The loose ball was chased down by Alexis Lapia, but then Zoe Michaud knocked it out there in the corner, and they'll maintain possession. So the Blue Hawks still on the offense here with 4:07 to play. Ray Neal at the top to Allison Kelly. Taking their time here, down 5 goals. Maddie Davis behind X. Over to Lapia. This is Emily Lapia. Over to Kelly. A pass inside to Maddie Davis. And contact inside the fan. We'll see if this will result in an 8-meter play. And it will. Maddie Davis will have a dead-on shot. And a save by Paradise. Didn't know where it was momentarily, but it hit her. And Paradise is asking the official why Davis was able to hit her stick while she was standing in the crease. The official didn't give her an answer, but Bedford has possession here. Number 3, Grace Ann Rooney bringing it into the Exeter zone. What were you going to say, Andrew?
Oh, just a critical save there from Paradise. Keep the lead at 5 here, and now the clock is under 3 minutes.
They could just finish off on this possession if they're careful here. I could see them taking their sweet time unless a golden opportunity emerges. Now McCarthy, she gets by a number of defenders and gets a shot away. Well, so much for my strategy. Run down the clock or add to the lead. They chose B.
I don't know if I'd call that a golden opportunity, but McCarthy certainly created it for herself, and she's so adept at putting it in the back of the net.
She's just such a wily player, has a great sense of where she is in space and where the defender is, and kind of uses that position to get around each player and give herself opportunity. So now 15-9, a 6-goal lead for the Bulldogs with just 2:30 to play. Exeter has a high hill to climb here if they hope to get back into this one. Face off in the air. It hit McEachern's stick momentarily. Now she gets it back, so Bedford controls once again. Now there's a pass off of Chamberlain Bell. Picked up there by number 17, Phoebe Tyler of Exeter. Now the Blue Hawks have control and come the other way. 2:14 to play. There's Strohacker, surrounded by Bulldogs. Loses the ball momentarily, and now Bedford comes up with the Lynch. Lynch is struck, and the officials are going to let play continue here. So the Blue Hawks get the ball back. A shot and a goal by, that was waved off. That was number 11, Sydney Taylor. But what did the officials say? It was a foul beforehand? They're going to give her 8 meter. .155 to go. So Sydney Taylor, with a chance here at a sharp angle, takes a shot and scores high in the upper corner over Paradise. Cuts the lead to 15 to 10 here with 1:52 to play.
A lot of inconsistencies, officials. That's just me.
Exeter go by number 11, Sydney Taylor.
Yeah, it really looked like there should have been a call on, on the check on Sydney Lynch.
Yeah, Lynch went to the ground there, and I would have expected a call on that play as well.
How many 8-meter shots have these guys had?
Well, nonetheless, Bedford maintains a 5-goal lead here with 1:52 to play. No time to relax, but if they can win the possession here, it'll go a long way towards cinching this game. Straight up in the air and picked up by Bedford momentarily. It got knocked out of Julian Bell's stick, but Julian was able to get it right back. And a collision right there with Kelly on Lynch, and they're going to call that on Kelly. Bedford's going to come up with control here with 1:38 to play, and now I am fairly convinced they're going to just run the clock out here instead of trying to score. Riley Chu along the goal line. They still tried. She definitely took a shot there. Now the loose ball won by Bedford. 1:18 to play, so they maintain possession.
You're right, Harry. Certainly no need to score here. Up by 5.
I was just surprised that she tried to do that, because I would think taking time off the clock would be more valuable at this point than getting the lead back up to 6. So off the restart, Lynch gets it up to Julian Bell. Julian Bell moving laterally, takes a shove from Phoebe Taylor.
Just under a minute to go now.
Still with the ball. Flips it back to Riley Chu behind X. Riley wheeling around, tries to get a shot away. She gets knocked down, and the officials will call that this time, and she might get an 8 meter.
Yellow card there with the blow to the head.
So Bedford's going to have the man advantage here. Only 49 seconds to play, but Riley Chu has an 8 meter play from 12 o'clock against Patton. Chu bounces off the ground, hits the goalpost, and it goes right to number 23, Elise Cannon. Turns the ball over, and Chu gets the ball back. She takes a tumble, but will retain possession here. 39.4 to go.
That was second time Chu's shot one off the pipes today.
So McEachern over to McCarthy. Under 30 seconds to go here in regulation. Bedford up by 5. And they're just going to run the clock out. I keep saying that, and they keep proving me wrong, but I think this time they will just run the clock out. Lynch to Dermody. They're just playing the outside perimeter, making Exeter chase them down. 7 seconds to play. 4, 3, 2, and that does it. Oh, they blew the whistle with 0.7 to go here. Going to be right at this restart. It'll be a final, and it is. So there you go. That's the final. Bedford advances to meet BG in Exeter Saturday at 5 o'clock in the semifinal round of the Division I tournament here for the girls lacrosse. A tough contest, but that stretch in the second half, in the early part of the second half, I think is what tilted the game the Bulldogs' way.
Yeah, nice after that slow start. You're right. I think Bedford really kind of realized it was a playoff quarterfinal here that they had to get going in, and started to gel offensively. They had a lot of nice connections offensively with off-the-ball cuts and nice balanced scoring with McCarthy and Lynch. You know, no surprise there. They're both first-team All-State players last year. McCarthy finishing with 6 goals today, Lynch with 5. And then the rest of the Bedford scoring, McEachern had 2, Chamberlain Bell had 1, and Dermody had the 15th goal for Bedford.
And that's going to do it from Bedford High Stadium. I'd like to thank Bill Jennings on camera, doing a fine job there, and you, Andrew Hansen, for stepping in to do color. Be sure to tune in tomorrow to Bedford 105.1, a radio-only contest, baseball, Bedford baseball at 4 o'clock. It'll be the Winnicott Warriors coming to the SAU field, and Lauren Fox and Andrew Hansen will have that call. And Corey Munster Tiger and myself will travel to Exeter on Saturday to bring you the radio call between the BG Cardinal and the Bedford Bulldogs. So that's going to do it. 15-10 is the final. Bedford girls advance, the number 2 seed. And that does it. You've been watching Bedford girls playoff lacrosse on BCTV 23.